treasure. And then, of course, it's always a favorite to see Erdrick's sword be found in its vanilla location in the bottom chest in Sherlock, where it would normally be found in the normal game. Those are my two favorite items to see in some tough locations, and looks like we are getting ready to go here. So we'll have some kind words from the king, and we'll see what our first three items will be, one of which has to be a magic key to let our runners out.
Of course, I think our runners would prefer some wings, or hopefully have the return spell equipped at the start. I'm waiting to see.
Looks like not today. A torch, an herb, and then the obligatory magic key with no spells. Lots of MP to start with, though.
It looked like 17 magic points. What spells do they have on hand?
Yes, they do have 17 MP, but no spells to start with all of that MP.
Well, that it doesn't help. Oh, neither does that Magidrakey. What was that? A level 2 fire breath?
I believe so, yeah. Magidrakey's sitting right outside the castle and sending them right back to the castle for at least for BT and JJ. Meanwhile, Mr. Holmes is finding slimes, where Centroid is finding Drakeys to take out.
And BT has found a ghost.
Oh, speaking of Drakeys, we have a Drakema for JJ Schmidt, and wow, we have Dragon Breath coming from those ghosts as well, who will send both Centroid and BT home.
They're all trying to get ahead, but apparently not, for they are dead.
Wow, and what a rough death there, too. Blue slimes with Dragon Breath and red slimes with Hurtmore. Ouch.
Maybe I should not have rolled this seed.
Yeah, these early game enemies are not playing nice at all. Here we are 2 minutes in, and not a level has been got yet. And yeah, there's not level 2 Dragon Breath, but it is the regular Dragon Breath from a Magidrakey taking Mr. Holmes out. And we do see our first level over on Centroid's side. No new spells, looks like no new HP either.
I did see an agility increase, but we kind of need some spells here if our runners want a better shot at this. Otherwise, my namesake will take you out.
Yeah, as a wolf does a good job of taking Centroid out.
And that is correct, Fearon Burgundy. The red slimes do have Hurtmore.
And look at this start too. You've got nothing on your left except for some sand and ocean, so nice beachfront property. Then behind you, you've got mountains, so all you can actually do is trek through some swamp to try to progress anywhere. But by the looks of that swamp, they wouldn't make it very far. So they really can't go anywhere till they get a few levels, maybe a heal spell. Either that, or they have to sacrifice their one herb that they've gotten to get out of the swamp and look elsewhere. We do see that BT has also made it to level 2 along with Mr. Holmes. So far, JJ's only taken out a slime for the one experience that they give. Well, I'll stand corrected. He's taken out a little bit more now.
Wait, seriously? That was just worth 1? Wow.
Yeah, blue slimes only give you 1, red slimes will give you 2. And right now, those are about the only things they can seem to take out around here.
That's assuming the AI roulette doesn't cause problems.
And it looks like occasionally a Drakey's able to be taken out, but they don't give much more than the slimes do either. And they take a little longer with having a little bit more health on them. Only giving you 3 experience, so 1, 2, or 3 experience is what you're looking at. But we do see Mr. Holmes will be our first level 3, and wow, actually getting some good power and some good speed, and we get the Hurt spell.
Hurt at level 3.
That will speed things along quite a bit, especially as Mr. Holmes uses it to great effect on this Magidrakey, but the Magidrakey's breath is more powerful. Those Magidrakeys, with having hurt at level 3, are going to be what you will probably want to see here, though, as they will give you a good amount of experience, allowing you to actually get more levels. Maybe even this Poltergeist here.
Maybe not according to BT.
No, I mean, BT doesn't have hurt, though. We do see that Centroid is now going to be on level 3, so they will be acquiring hurts, getting 15 experience for each of those Poltergeists we take out now. Even also these Skeletons should be a good mark now as well.
Actually, I think BT does have hurt, since I did see level 3 flash up there.
Oh, you are correct. He does have a level 3, so that's what he was looking for, was something to use that hurt on that's a little more effective, such as these Skeletons for 25, as we see Mr. Holmes will now take level 4. Decent power increase, but that's about it. No new spells. Really, that's what they're going to be looking for here, too, is either a heal spell or a decent HP increase, that allowing them to trek across that swamp and explore out further.
Yeah, without having a heal or heal more, going across that swamp is dangerous. I don't know if there are any special tiles that won't have an enemy spawn, but I wouldn't want to cross that without some health.
No, even the swamp will have enemies spawn, so you'll have to deal with enemies trying to take you out along with that swamp.
I'll rephrase what I was trying to say. I don't know if there are some tiles in the randomizer where enemies will not spawn, period.
Ah, I see. As far as I know, the only tiles that enemies do not spawn on is water, which you can't trek, and the mountains, which, again, you can't trek. We do see Centroid has made their way to level 4. BT has actually made their way to level 5 now. And as noted by our chat, BT now has Heal and Radiant. Radiant, of course, is the spell that will light up the cave, so no need for that torch that was found. And BT with that Heal will make their way across the swamp now.
Was Radiant granted at 4 or 5?
That would have been 5. 4 did not give any spells. And he is quickly taken out by a Wraith Knight and told, no exploring for you.
Well, I think Mr. Holmes is at 5 now, so he's going to make that trek.
And thankfully for Mr. Holmes, with a fair bit more MP than what BT had. But BT is well on his way back to go across the swamp and comes with a Metal Scorpion. Not a bad find when you have hurt in your pocket. And we see Centroid is now taking level 5 as well.
Everyone, well, whoop, marked the wrong one.
And it seems Mr. Holmes is going to be content with getting a little bit more experience before he goes exploring, it seems.
Oh, Poltergeist takes out JJ Schmidt.
While a Stoneman sends BT back home as well. Yeah, those Stonemen, they'll punch you good, especially at this level. So right outside of the Tentigo Castle, we've got a not so nice zone for enemies. Those Rogue Scorpions will be nice later in the game, especially if they are hiding over in the sand over there once you have hurt more.
But it looks like they have a lot of attacks, so probably not that good right now.
No, definitely not. But once you have hurt more, one hurt more, and those Rogue Scorpions go down. So if they're hiding in the sand just east of that swamp, that'll be a great area for later.
Uh-oh, Centroid has found a Stoneman.
And Stoneman smash.
Yeah, that's an appropriate way of doing it. Alright, BT.
Well, he gets a new spell, but he doesn't check it. Oh, here he goes. Repel. That won't be too useful until a little bit later.
So far, we have found 4 of the 10 spells, but
We have a town. We have 2 towns.
We have, I believe this is Garanham.
We have 3 towns.
Well, we're not going.
And you are correct. One was Garanham. We have Rimmeldar for keys now.
Well, let's see that third one.
And unfortunately, Mr. Holmes taking just one too many steps, and he was sent home by the swamp tile damage. And we see Centroid is now getting up to level 6. We'll see their new spell is Repel. Yeah, won't be too happy about that, but it'll come in handy later.
Alright, third town. Breckenary, I believe?
That's correct. We have Breckenary, also known as Six Town, by one of our favorite commentators, Furon Burgundy. We see there's a silver shield there, though, although with the other 2 towns nearby, there may be one of those there as well. But something to keep in mind for sure.
Yeah, silver shield, second best shield in the game, I believe.
Best shield in the game, actually.
Right, I was thinking of
The large shield for 800 gold. Yeah, large shield is the second best, and only for 800 gold. So it's a far cry different price from the 14,800 gold required to purchase a silver shield.
Yeah.
But we do see that BT will be getting some keys. We see Centroid has made their way to Garanham, as has JJ Schmidt, and Mr. Holmes is just about to enter Garanham, so everybody progressing almost at the same time here.
Alright, JJ Schmidt is purchasing the scale. I think we have that available.
Yes, we do. So we have the Dragon Scale, which will give you an extra 2 defense power. It's not a lot, but, you know, it does come in handy. And BT is choosing to go exploring, perhaps saving the 1 key they were able to purchase for when they go back to Tenteagle to raid the treasury for either some more money, maybe some more keys, or possibly a better weapon.
Almost sounds like BT wants to find the mountain cave to attempt the gold duplication glitch.
That's never a bad idea either. For those who are unfamiliar with the gold duplication glitch, so you have the gold duplication by... The game can only store 8 chests. So once you have picked up a total of 8 chests, which can be done by grabbing the 5 either in the mountain cave or in Garanham's grave, and dying in that cave back to the Tenteagle throne room, it will take those 3 chests and mark those as being acquired and add that to your account, thereby putting your 5 chests from mountain cave or Garanham's grave and those 3 chests together for a total of 8. Once you go to pick up the 9th chest, there's no more room in the memory to store chests, so the 9th chest will not disappear, or any other chest after that, for that matter, allowing you to open it over and over again, getting all the gold you could ever need.
Well, here's the treasury. Silver harp. And a torch. And a curse belt. And a death necklace.
Well, that's not too bad.
Now is Centroid going to go for that as well? Indeed.
Well, at least getting the cursed belt and the death necklace, should they choose to, they can sell those for a bit of money if they find something decent to pick up later. Although, as you had mentioned before, the death necklace will give you an extra 10 attack power at the cost of 25% of your HP. However, at level 6, with our current HP counts, it's not looking too feasible right now.
Alright, Centroid is heading into the dungeon. Well, not really dungeon, it's going to be a cave. What type of cave? Thank you, Radiant. Let's see. South and east open.
That would be... go ahead.
Swamp Cave, because it has a second entrance.
Correct, that is North Swamp. So that actually spells some bad news for our runners here, possibly. Reason being is if Swamp Cave is required to be able to get to Charlock, it makes you think twice about that death necklace, as once you put the death necklace on, wow, and it leads to 2 more caves.
Cave
but
number
once you
1. I think this is the Stone Cave.
Correct. That is what is known as the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, usually found in the Tanteagle basements, but affectionately known by us as Bonus Cave, as it is a free chest. And one, as Centroid is doing, you can just open over and over again, especially as it has gold. But yes, if you have the Death Necklace on and you try to enter Tanteagle or you die, the king will kick you out because you have failed and you are cursed, and out you go.
Well, it's a slow grind, and also, as Fearon Burgundy mentioned, there is one other advantage of Brecconary. Apparently, they have the power of removing very tight belts and necklaces.
This is true. There is one curse remover in the game, and that is in Brecconary. So it's not quite game over, but you will lose that 10 attack power bonus if you do choose to use it. And as being noted also by Fearon Burgundy, a little bit of a ghetto gold grind from Centroid, being able to just re-enter over and over again. I mean, if you want to get your equipment, it is definitely possible, and we have the Rainbow Drop Cave now as well, so very close by.
Now, Rainbow Drop, isn't that the same one where the guy will throw you out?
You are correct. The Rainbow Drop Cave, if you do not have at least Erdrick's token, he will kick you out. This is why he is also known as the Jerk Cave, because he's a jerk who kicks you out.
Apparently the Wraith Knight is the new jerk, according to Mr. Holmes.
Well, we see we have a Fighter's Ring and Erdrick's token hiding away in the back of Garenham. The Fighter's Ring, of course, will give you 2 extra attack power, being found by JJ Schmidt, along with Erdrick's token, so unfortunately no searching the world for that one, but I can still have my wish to search in the world for Erdrick's armor. And speaking of Erdrick's, we have Erdrick's Tablet Cave.
Alright, let me take those down just to make sure I don't miss them. And BT is going for the same things and equipping them as well. I presume JJ Schmidt has already equipped his Fighter's Ring?
Correct, and just some gold being found in Erdrick's Cave. Good news about Erdrick's Cave is there are no enemies. However, if it's not exactly a sought-after item, it is a bit of a trek to get back out, taking about a minute of your time to do so. Meanwhile, Centroid had found Hawksness, chose not to go in, explored a bit more, and got sent back home.
I had missed where Hawksness was, but I presume it was on Swamp Cave. There's a lot of things at the other end of Swamp Cave today.
Hey, a useful second continent. I can't complain. It's not too often we get second continents that are useful. Speaking of useful, we see there's a large shield and a silver shield hiding in Garenham, so Brecconary not so useful anymore.
And JJ purchasing the chainmail probably realizes with all these tough enemies, may as well get some protection early.
And so we've actually seen quite a few things here. We've seen Erdrick's Cave, we've seen the Swamp Cave, we've seen the Bonus Cave, and we've seen the Jerk Cave. So we're only missing the Grave, the Mountain Cave, and the Staff of Rain Shrine. So we're only missing 3 of our caves. As far as towns go, I believe we're only missing Cole and Cantlin at this point. Cantlin, of course, the town that you get coordinates for the world item, and Cole, the 3rd place where you can search and find an item.
I knew I was missing a town on my list. Right, Cantlin. Isn't Cantlin also the town where there are 3 different places you can shop?
Correct. You have 3 shops in Cantlin, one of which is locked behind a gate, or locked behind a door, rather.
Uh-oh, BT is in trouble. We have a wizard that can cast sleep.
Ooh, the old slept and wrecked combo over there for BT.
That's appropriate, I'll give you that. And an Axe Knight. Ooh boy.
And Axe Knight, who also is familiar with the old slept and wrecked technique. Unfortunately for Centroid, he had found an Armored Knight, was able to get away from it surprisingly, but the Axe Knight was asleep, not so friendly.
I do see Mr. Holmes at level 7, but I haven't seen a 5th spell yet. I am seeing a chainmail purchase, though.
I don't believe there's been any new spells acquired. Perhaps chat can assist us a little bit there in case we missed something.
And thank you, Fearon Burgundy. We have not missed a spell at level 7.
Ooh, and we have a blue dragon being found by BT. I believe that was in the Swamp Cave.
These enemies are not friendly at all, and we have a copper sword purchase for Mr. Holmes.
Not a bad idea. With the enemies we're running into, it's not a bad idea. We see Centroid hitting level 7. Not too bad. 4 power, 4 speed, but only 1 HP and 0 MP gain. So, level 7, we're not really seeing a lot of stat gains.
Yeah. Everyone is at level 7 with the exception of BT, but hopefully
I
that will
believe
change
BT...
soon.
Yeah, BT just got it, yeah. He decided he was going to correct you before you could even finish saying it.
Commentator's blessing.
Not too often for that one. I believe Mr. Holmes is the closest to level 8. Hopefully a level 8 will hold the large stats and maybe a little more useful spell for him. And we do see JJ Schmidt finally getting some stuff out of the treasury, collecting his silver harp and his cursed items.
So it's only Mr. Holmes who I haven't noticed go into the treasury, but for all we know, he might have already.
I'm not positive if he did. If he hasn't, we'll probably see him do it here.
Also, what was in Rimmeldar? Dragon Scale, right. So everyone has a Dragon Scale. I think BT picked up a second Dragon Scale, actually. And now, Wyvern time. Can JJ Schmidt take out the Wyvern before... Success!
Yep, and there's that Axe Knight again, sending BT on home. But we do see on Centroid's side, we have the Mountain Cave being located. Unfortunately, a Blue Dragon is going to unlocate it for Centroid.
Mountain Cave. 5 treasures inside. Very valuable if you can get to them.
It looks like getting a little bit of money saved up, getting some gear, perhaps a large shield, some chainmail, and a copper sword right now is probably going to be the best idea with some of these enemies that we're running into and places that we want to explore.
Alright, JJ farming for gold in the Stone Cave. And Mr. Holmes going to purchase some keys in Rimmeldar. These town names will eventually become second nature to me, folks.
And we'll definitely see, if he hadn't checked Treasury before, we'll be seeing it soon enough. Oh, there's a cave just northeast of those towns. I'm not sure if we've seen that one. That may have been what Mountain Cave was. We won't get to find out, though, as a rogue scorpion is going to send Mr. Holmes back home.
We have a town in the swamp. This looks like Cantlin.
Yep, we do have Cantlin being found in the swamp. And I believe that was through the other side of the Swamp Cave, so very appropriate there, finding a town in a swamp. And he is going to go ahead and check the coordinates. We do have plenty of MP to do so for keeping him alive through the damage tiles we have here. And chat noting that the Droll Magi have Dragon Lord 2 breath. Oof, that is some deadly stuff.
I had
Lord.
missed that.
Dragon Lord 2 breath, of course, dealing quite a bit more without Erdrick's armor being found, but even with the armor, it still will hit for 42, 44, 46, or 48. And we see 14 south and 26 east is our coordinates. Not actually bad coordinates today. I think we'll be seeing those getting walked and finding what our item is.
Actually, we'd have to go around the swamp first for that, I think. But
it will require a little bit of counting backwards at first. We see our first chest in Mountain Cave being found by BT is gold.
I think Centroid is trying to plan out how to dig for items here.
Yeah, if this is the armor, this would be a big boost to Centroid here.
Especially since I didn't see Centroid purchase any armor. Same with BT. I could be mistaken, though. However, I think what our runners are really hoping for, besides the armor, a heal more. Maybe a hurt more as well.
I would say at this point in time, probably a hurt more. Heal more wouldn't be all that beneficial since they don't really have enough health that they need anything more than just a heal. With the amount of health they have at level 7, a heal is doing plenty.
Oh, BT has found Stones of Sunlight. And Centroid is making his way to the dig spot.
Oh yeah, he's counting it out. It's not a bad count at all, especially with being able to see space just beneath the mountains there. It's a very easy count. We'll see what our last chest is here.
Oh no, the Rogue Scorpion chose to guard whatever it is.
I tried to cut that commentator's curse off, but it worked anyway. I heard you start to say, unless this Rogue Scorpion sends him home.
Oh, well.
So it looks...
Go for
looks
it.
like... I was just going to say, it looks like Mountain Cave just has some money, the stones, and an herb as being noted by From Burgundy there. But still, the Stones of Sunlight, very important to find.
Especially since... note that BT has 2 of the 3 items necessary to get the rainbow drop.
That means all he would need to find is the shrine in order to turn in the staff, and he would be able to get the rainbow drop. And is BT going to do the death necklace chest grind here? Once you've picked up the death necklace, it does not respawn. Instead, its chest is replaced with a little bit over 100 gold. I can't remember the exact parameters right now, but it does allow you to get a little over 100 gold each time. It's very slow, though.
Can't say I was familiar with that strategy.
Especially if you're looking for a silver shield, you're looking at 148 times of opening that chest. That's a long time of opening.
Okay, Centroid did cast Repel, but the Metal Scorpion wanted to appear anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately, with what stats they have right now, Repel is not going to help them. It'll only make it so that the tougher enemies will appear instead of the weaker enemies, and that's not helpful at all right now.
Yeah, Stone Men want to say hello.
But you can definitely grind on that chest. Like I said, it's going to take you 148 times opening it, but give or take a few here and there. But it would be faster than trying to grind on enemies. It's a very big time sink for something like the Silver Shield. For something a little bit less expensive, it's not bad.
You called it, Ryu. Centroid has found Erdrick's armor.
That is going to be a very large boost for him. That means that everything will be doing much less damage. Hurt more will be doing much less damage. The Dragon Breath and Dragon Lord 2 Breath will do much less damage now. Plus, he won't take damage from Swampert, the damaging tiles, and he will now gain 1 health per step he takes.
Kind of would have been useful to have that armor to get the coordinates when you think about it.
Definitely would be useful for that, but it will be a huge benefit for him having that now. And being noted, we have the full plate armor being picked up by BT.
Thank you again, Firon. We've had a dearth of spells now that I think about it. We would kind of like to see something at level 9, hopefully.
Yeah, we haven't seen any spells since level 5, which that was just Repel. Or, not Repel. Level 6, which was Repel. And we get BT heading to level 8 now. Aside from no spells, not really much on the stats either. So we're going to be looking for a lot of help stats-wise later on in this run here.
Yeah, I mean, the stats started nice early on, kind of, sort of, but for strength HP builds, I'll be honest, I was kind of expecting more strength right now.
We should definitely see probably about level 10. We should be seeing a very large strength or HP level there. So far, no runners actually expressly far and ahead right now. I'd say exploration-wise, we have BT and JJ who have the harp, the stone, and the token. But then we have Centroid who has Erdrick's armor and is not far behind in levels as he hits level 8 now as well. Only a couple hundred experience between any of our 4 featured runners here.
Excellent move against the skeleton, but not another level up yet, and... Ooh, chat called that earlier, Wolf Lord does breathe fire.
Well, Centroid will be a lot more capable of living through that, having Erdrick's armor now, but definitely something to keep in mind if you decide you want to grind on some Wolf Lords later as well.
Level 9 sighting from Mr. Holmes. I did not see a spell.
Yeah, still not looking too good on those levels. Hopefully level 10 will hold some good stats, and yep, there's that Dragon Lord 2 Breath from the Droll Magi on JJ Schmidt's side.
Well, actually level 9 is a good one for stats, 27 strength.
Oh, I must have missed the strength stat. 27 strength is definitely a good stat gain. Makes up for all the lesser ones that we've seen earlier.
Alright, BT has found the jerk, but is missing the Staff of Rain. So where is that located?
That is going to be the question here. We have BT who's finding Hawksness. Looks like he's going to give it a go, maybe. Oh, no, he changed his mind. And Wraith Knights with Hurtmore sending JJ Schmidt right back home again. And we do see Mr. Holmes is now making their way through the mountain cave, so he will be picking up his stones of sunlight here shortly, as long as the enemies allow him to do so. And the Stone Man does say no.
Alright, which cave is Centroid in? Immediate south with a little bit southeast? That's Erdrick's, right. We've covered that before.
Correct, he is in Erdrick's cave, which did have some gold to be found.
Armored Knight for Mr. Holmes. Ooh, almost at death's doorstep, and now has actually entered properly. JJ dealing with the wolf, takes him out. Lucky critical hit for BT, but no level up yet. Level 9 is the big one. Uh-oh. Okay. Blue dragons are on the overworld, but BT was able to run from one.
And looks like BT. Well, never mind. I said looks like BT is about to find their way to Cantland, but a Stoneman says no. But he does now know that there's a town there, and I assume will be trying to make their way to it, knowing that only Cole and Cantland are left.
We haven't seen Cole yet, have we?
So far, we have not seen Cole, but we do know that the only thing that could be hiding in Cole, or possibly Hawksness at this point, is going to be Fairy Flute. One of those will be empty, and the other will have the Fairy Flute, since we have found the token and the armor already. Or they could both be empty, and Fairy's Flute's hiding in a chest somewhere.
Centroid had apparently run into the red dragon.
And Mr. Holmes running into those Hurtmore using Wraith Knights, sending him right back home.
Alright,
And
what cave is BT in that has stone men in it?
I believe BT is making his way through the Swamp Cave. Swamp Cave, yeah. Swamp Cave, very easy to navigate once you know what cave it is. You just go down, right down, left. It's one of the easier caves, even coming from the south, one of the easier caves to navigate. Once you know that it is the Swamp Cave, it becomes very easy to navigate. Some of the less easier ones, on the other hand, Garen's Grave, especially if you're having to go down to the bottom, not a fun cave to navigate in the dark. We do see Centroid and Mr. Holmes are both in Mountain Cave right now, however, so they will be hopefully getting their Stone to Sunlight this time around.
Both JJ and Mr. Holmes at level 9 with the all-important strength boosts. Centroid and BT need to catch up on that.
Especially BT with having that broadsword compared to JJ not having a weapon at all, or the copper sword of Mr. Holmes. That'll help him out quite a bit more.
At best, Centroid may have the bamboo pole, but I had missed whether it was kept in the treasury, because I thought I saw it there. If a bamboo pole notice was in the treasury, I believe that would have just been the from the chest glitches. Those can't be found in a chest. Oh.
Anytime that you pick up the gold glitch and you start opening chests, it can go into a random name, such as the Axe Ghost, or one of our personal favorites, the Red. But eventually it will just switch to saying the Bamboo Pole. I believe the reason why it goes to Bamboo Pole is I think that is probably the first item in the index, so it defaults to that item, I think, is why it does that. Oh yes, Furon Burgundy reminding us of the Sword Magician. That one's a great one.
It's just a rune knight. Oh, Centroid being ruined by a knot knight. Hi, and by Golem.
Those golems. Oof. Golems being one of the 3 toughest enemies in the game. Well worth if you can take one out, because they do give you 255 experience. Same for the red dragons, but again, one of the 3 toughest enemies that are in this game. Also boasting quite a bit of health for those golems. Of course, if you have the Fairy's Flute, they're a little easier to take out, as the Fairy's Flute will just put them directly to sleep.
That, of course, requires us to find the Fairy's Flute. Alright, BT is at level 9. Enjoy the strength boost.
And, details. I gotta find the thing first, but, minor detail. Speaking of BT, he has made it to Cantland now, so hopefully he will take those coordinates and go and pick up his armor.
And with the broadsword equipped, I think BT has the highest attack power out of everyone right now. Also, JJ has those coordinates. And I think Centroid... No, wait, Centroid already has him covered. And the Stone Man has already covered him.
So JJ and BT will be getting their armor here shortly if they choose to walk it out. It's very easy coordinates to walk. It's less than 50 paces altogether.
I just realized something. Where's Sharlock?
Not a single one of our 4 featured runners has run into Sharlock.
Then,
So yeah, that is definitely one important thing that we're missing, along with the Staff of Rain Shrine. We haven't seen that either.
Centroid getting very lucky with the excellent moves right now. And now BT's borrowing that luck.
Not so lucky now. Now with the old slept and wrecked Axe Knight coming after him, but he does wake up and manages to get away.
And okay, I had missed Centroid picking up a shield. I'd missed what type, so
I was not aware that Centroid had actually picked up his shield, but this time he does get slept and wrecked by the Axe Knight.
Well, wrecked by fire breath. That feels wrong. Oh well, Centroid will just go out into the world again. Now BT sees the knight, gets out. JJ Schmidt sees the knight, can.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme here. Barely get away from Tendeagle, get sent back home. Barely get away from Tendeagle, get sent back home.
I have a feeling I'm never going to be allowed to roll a seed again.
It's certainly worse than any I've ever rolled, at the moment anyway. We'll wait to see if they end up having to go to level 22 before we make any judgments here.
Fair enough. In the meantime, please show mercy to our runners. Give them a follow as they are putting in more than a fair effort. I have not seen if BT picked up the Erdrick's armor yet.
I don't believe he has. I think he's trying to count that right now. I think JJ was trying to do the same.
Small shield, and I missed a broadsword pickup for Centroid. Thank you again for the pause.
Yeah, unfortunately, with Dragon Warrior, unlike the later Dragon Warrior games, the first one, not a very easy way of seeing what equipment you have, as it didn't take up inventory slots like it did in the later Dragon Warriors. Of course, in the later Dragon Warriors, you also couldn't stack herbs, so there's your caveat.
BT's in the general area, but has miscounted somewhere. Either that, or just trying random spots.
Yeah, I think he may have miscounted here, so he's trying to search about in the area where he thought it would have been.
Well,
it's definitely possible, and I've done it plenty of times myself.
That did seem like the right area. For those that need the reminder, the coordinates here, 14 south, 26 east.
Was it? I thought it was 16 south, 24 east.
1426. Ooh.
Yeah, 14 south, 26 east. Okay. Comb the desert. Good reference. Good reference.
Ah, they're just doing what
Oh,
they're told.
Mr. Holmes has found the Staff of Rain cave, and he has the silver harp. So we did miss him picking that up. So he will be the first to get the Staff of Rain, and potentially the first to get the Rainbow Drop. Where was that located? In the middle of a forest. Ooh, Red Dragon found by BT, and we'll send him home. And Centroid, right on the heels of Mr. Holmes, finding the Staff of Rain cave as well.
And JJ Schmidt also heading home. I don't think he got Erdrick's armor, though.
Well, so we have a Druid Lord. I believe that's the first one we've spotted over on Mr. Holmes' side. Meanwhile, Centroid getting another excellent move on the Wraith Knight. Those Wraith Knights actually give quite a bit of experience as well. Spectres, not so much, but a little easier to take down. And we have a Knight who likes to cast Hurt being found on Mr. Holmes' side.
I had missed a level up on Mr. Holmes' side here. Level 10. I'm gonna double check the stat gains here.
We'll be seeing Centroid here in just a moment, getting that as well.
Yeah. Looked like 8 strength.
And green, wow. Mr. Holmes just finding everything. The Knights, the Green Dragons, the Druid Lords. And yeah, that does appear to be on the far side, on the other side of Swamp, on the far eastern side of the continent there.
Which is where BT is heading back.
Only if he survives this Droll Magi. Who, he did pick up the armor, because that only hit him for 42. So BT did pick up Erdrick's armor. Unfortunately, he doesn't have 42, so he was sent home anyways. 36 at level 9, that is just awful. I don't think we're going to see a Death Necklace use on this seed. Not unless a mass amount of HP gets gained here shortly. So, we're still missing one more cave. As JJ finds the Staff of Rain cave, we are still missing Garenham's grave, which has another 5 chests that could potentially hold Erdrick's sword. And we are still missing the location of both Cole and Sharlock, as we have not seen either of those yet. Still plenty of continent to explore, it seems, though.
I just have to seriously wonder where everything is. There was a spell gain on level 10. I think it was outside, if I saw that correctly.
Outside would be a very useful spell, especially if you do decide to go into the grave, as outside will allow you a quick exit from the grave if you find what you're looking for, or once you finish the last chest, and you can get back out quickly. We are seeing, the Golem is the Swamp Tile boss. The Swamp Tile, along with the boss in Hawksnest, of course, you can repeatedly walk over them to use as a grind spot, but not with being a Golem.
Not unless you have the fairy flute, so, sorry, Princess Gwaelin, our love is not that strong enough.
I don't know, even with the fairy flute, Golems are a little tough. I mean, if you've got about 130-ish, strength, sure, but at that point you probably won't need to.
Alright, JJ hopefully will go for Erdrick's armor if he doesn't already have it.
I think he is gonna... It looks like he's gonna go for a grind. And we see Mr. Holmes, yep.
Not dealing with it.
Yeah, we see him going, taking a quick peek and deciding no. have BT going way north on the other side of the swamp here. See if we can find Sharlock, or perhaps even just finding coal at this point would just be at least something new. We do see Centroid getting to level 10 now. Let's see, 8 power, 7 speed, 17, wow, 54 MP. Good lord.
And JJ Schmidt got the simultaneous one. DJ
Wow, that is a lot of MP.
DJ Dragonflame asks, why is Link in Dragon Warrior? You can change the graphics of the hero.
He decided he was tired of rescuing Zelda. He wanted to go rescue Gwaylin. She's prettier. We do see Mr. Holmes picks up his rainbow drop. BT still exploring far north after going through the swamp cave, but finds a whole lot of nothing.
And Centroid trying to purchase keys, but the guard's in the way.
That's the real boss, those NPCs. And speaking of Mr. Holmes, looks like he is going for the Stone to Sunlight Cave grind. Well, see, that's... yes, that is true. Gwaylin is much more persistent, and that is probably why she is more sought after. Zelda's just like, nah.
I mean, as much as I like hugs as the next person, I don't know if I would want Gwaylin to hold on to me or force me to carry her bridal style all throughout the land.
Well, we have found by BT. That has to have been Cole there, but he didn't even bother checking since he has the armor and the token, and we have the grave. So everything but Sharlock has now been found. And this is true. At least Zelda doesn't make you carry her everywhere, so that is a very good point.
Alright, 5 chests in Garen's grave. 3 of them available without needing a key if I've counted right.
So let's see if we will get Erdrick's sword here, or if it is indeed in Sharlock, like I like to see it.
Alright, fairy water. Erdrick's sword!
And yep, Erdrick's sword has been found.
However,
well, that'll be the last of the grave.
I would not consider BT to be in go mode. We are still missing heal more.
This is true, and BT does need to find his Staff of Rain still. Only Centroid and Mr. Holmes have found that.
Now, is there a max level where spells can be learned?
Yes, level 16 is the cap where you will be guaranteed to have learned all 10 spells in the game.
And I had missed the large shield purchase from Mr. Holmes. Thank you again for the pause.
And as far as experience goes, we do see JJ and Centroid are in the lead with 1875 and 1960. And then we have Mr. Holmes, who's actually looks like he's going after a Stoneman grind perhaps at 1914. So while BT is a little behind experience-wise, he does have the benefit of having more exploration in some areas, along with having picked up Erdrick's sword, and perhaps we'll get to see if the flute is located here in Cole, or if he's just going to ignore that spot and go for an inn.
He just wants a rest. So, everyone is at level 10 right now. Decent amount of strength and attack power, assuming of course you have Erdrick's sword, but not high enough to where I would feel comfortable, you know, assuming we even find Sharlock, to just go straight for the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, imagine at this point, just based on the amount of exploration being done, Sharlock has to be west of the exit to Swamp Cave. or maybe northwest here, because we've seen far east and we've seen far north, but we haven't seen to the west, if you can even go very far west. We do see Mr. Holmes has made his way to Cantlin now, so he will be getting his Erdrick's armor here shortly. Or everybody, this is also a possibility. Everybody has just been going straight through Swamp Cave and exploring the other continent. Nobody has fully explored the first continent that you start on with Tanteagle. So it could be there somewhere, we just haven't seen it yet.
That is possible. Maybe Centroid will take care of that now that the Stone Man sent him back?
We shall see.
And in the meantime... Oh! Okay, I think that was an intentional death on Mr. Holmes' part. He should have the coordinates by now.
Yeah, that's... especially if Cantlin's a long way away and you don't have return or wings, taking a death on those barrier tiles is not a bad idea. Get you back to the castle quickly and allow you to go ahead and get your armor or whatever happens to be laying about. And Mr. Holmes is doing his counting.
And Fearon Burgundy does bring up a good point. You ideally want to survive... You want at least 90 HP at a minimum.
Well, Centroid hitting level 11, we see 14 more HP. No heal more yet, or hurt more to help that leveling go any faster, though.
We do gain sleep. And it looked like the level 11 had decent stat gains. Hold on.
Yeah, it was, as noted by Fearon Burgundy, it was 2, 15, 14, and 3. So good speed, good HP, not so much good on the attack power or the MP. And BT has found his Staff of Rain cave, so he now has the Staff of Rain and only needs to pick up his Rainbow Drop. So only thing that BT is missing at this point is locating Sharlock and gaining some levels.
Yeah, we have 6 out of 10 spells, but we are still missing that all-important heal more.
Yeah, unfortunately, the spell that everybody's looking for has yet to be acquired. This could be even though certainly looking at our stats, it looks like we're going to be going to level 16 or perhaps further at the moment. But just to get heal more, we may have to go to level 16 for it as well.
Some of my friends tell me sleep is overrated.
It is indeed. Yeah, 4 or 5 hours, that's all you need. You're good.
Alright, BT is now at level 11, has gained the power of sleep.
And Fearon Burgundy noting that, well, they did get 54 MP in an earlier level. That's true. Which is actually the odd thing here, is they should be getting their strength and HP gains. Maybe not quite that much, but they should be getting large strength and HP gains over the very large MP gain. I would have to say they are set at 96 MP right now, as far as their MP goes for their heal mores, once they learn the spell. But the attack power and the HP at the moment, leaves a little to be desired for. I have to say, at this point, if I'm BT or Mr. Holmes or Centroid, as they do have everything aside from Erdrick's sword for Mr. Holmes and Centroid, which is not exactly a requirement, but they do have everything else they need. What I would be doing here is either going for a grind somewhere, which nobody has checked Hawksness. We've seen it, but nobody's checked to see what's there. And we know what's in the swamp tile, so that's not probably going to be too favorable there. But I would either be looking for somewhere I can grind to get those levels that I'm going to need, or trying to find Sharlock so that I'm not looking for it once I have the levels that I've gained. Get some levels on the way to looking for it as well.
Is it also possible that no one is going to Hawk's Nest because it's either going to be nothing or the fairy flute at that square, and no one wants to deal with a golem?
That is possible. I mean, they don't gain anything by killing the boss there, aside from experience, just depending on what it is, but nobody's checked to see the boss. If it's an Axe Knight, we know Axe Knights have sleep, and those are a pain to deal with. If it's a blue dragon, that's more favorable, since it doesn't have anything other than its regular attacks. If it's a red dragon, well, those are painful, of course, but a lot more easy to put up with than a golem. It is a bit far away from any other towns, though, so you don't have anywhere to go and quickly regain MP after healing.
Alright, I had missed a level up. JJ Schmidt has gone to level 12. Stats didn't seem to have gained much.
I'll get a quick look at his MP. Looks like he gained 2 MP and some more HP.
And no new spells. We are still missing Return, we are still missing Heal More, we are still missing Hurt More, and we are still missing the other one that escapes me.
Stop spell.
Right, I should have remembered that one.
And you know, the thing there is Return is also a very big spell that you're going to want to have, especially seeing as how it looks like Sharlock is nowhere near Tantegel Castle. You're going to want to have that Return, or at least a set of wings in your pocket, to allow you to get back to Tantegel once you do take out the Dragon Lord. Otherwise, you're going to have a long walk on your hands. The good news is there are no enemies once you've taken out the Dragon Lord, but still, nobody wants to walk all the way.
Mr. Holmes currently contemplating, where is Sharlock? Where is the sword?
Well, he knows the sword has to either be in Sharlock or the grave. That's the only 2 places left for him to explore, I believe.
Contemplated too long, found a droll. Droll was scared of Mr. Holmes, apparently.
So BT picking up their rainbow drop here, so pretty much all BT needs, along with Mr. Holmes here, is some levels and to find Sharlock, although I'm sure Mr. Holmes would appreciate having Erdrick's sword as well. And BT putting good use to the sleep spell there, putting a stone man to sleep here.
And
JJ, go ahead.
we have a Sharlock sighting. Centroid has found Sharlock.
Wow, that is a Sharlock that was hiding away pretty good there. He has not picked up his rainbow drop, so he won't be able to make the bridge yet. But he does have an advantage. He knows where it's at. He's trying to walk about the sands here, trying to get an enemy encounter, see if this could be potentially a good grind spot.
BT and Mr. Holmes, resurrection high five.
And we have a red slime hiding outside Sharlock, so yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing too much grinding going on outside the castle here.
Well, that'll depend on how the enemies are slotted.
Well, we do have a knight.
Yeah. If I understand this randomizer correctly, each zone can have 5 enemies filled in the slots, roughly 20%, assuming it's even spread.
I believe you're correct. If I remember correctly, it is 5 enemies per zone. I don't think. Oh, he did have the rainbow drop. I'm missing him pick that up, I guess. I don't believe that the rate at which they appear is divided evenly. However, I believe each one is given their own percentage. It may not each be 20%. It could be this enemy has a 10% chance of appearing, whereas the other enemies may have a 20, a 30, and a 40% chance. If I remember correctly, that is how it is distributed. Is each one has their own specific percentage, not an even percentage.
Hey, Centroid, I've played, never... okay, Centroid is trying to grind at the entrance. I was worried that Centroid was actually going to make a right turn and take that path. I don't even remember the right way to get to Erdrick's Sword in the vanilla game. But it has to be up one of those two towers, right?
Well, actually, going to either of those staircases you see there or to the right actually will just lead you to a big old dead end.
Not even
Thankfully,
to the sword?
Erdrick's not even to the sword. Thankfully, the vanilla location of the sword is roughly on your way to the Dragon Lord, but it is a little bit of a sidetrack. You have a staircase that you take, which leads you to the two lower levels and then the bottom floor. And then on that same floor with that staircase that you take before you go into the U-bend and then just the straight across room, there's another staircase that'll take you through a few more floors in order to get to the sword. So it's a little bit of a sidetrack, but if that's where the sword is and you're missing that attack power, that's where you tend to go.
Red Dragon in Hawksness.
Without a heal more, that's a rough grind.
Yeah, where are our runners going to grind on this one?
That's a good question, because Sharlock is out of the question right now with the way the enemies are and having no heal more. Heal, unfortunately, is not going to be enough. The spike tile in the swamp is a golem, and Hawksness is holding a red dragon. Looks like Mr. Holmes is going with Stonemen and Wraith Knights just to the east of Tenteagle. And it looks like Centroid has found their way into the grave, so they'll be picking up their big stick soon, and that will help them tremendously.
Ooh, blue dragons encountered.
I don't know. Blue dragons aren't too bad if you can hit them for a decent amount. I don't think their attack power is at quite where they need it to be for that yet, though. Let's see, 115 for Centroid. Yeah, not quite there. A little bit more attack power, and they'll be able to probably two-shot most of the blue dragons that they run into. Now, here's the thought. Do you check Cole for the fairy flute, and knowing where you have the golems in the swamp tile, go for the fairy flute golem grind?
I'm honestly surprised I haven't seen anyone go for Cole yet. Oh, Centroid's about to prove me wrong.
Oh, there's nothing found. That means that the fairy's flute is either in Hawksness, underneath a red dragon, or it is in a chest in Sharlock.
This is not a friendly seed. I apologize to our warriors.
We did actually see BT go into Cole just for a quick nap in the inn. Did not bother to check the location there, though. But that would be a thought in the back of my mind right now is golems, fairy flute, 255 experience per time I kill them. It's not the best grind, but it is a grind, and at least you're getting 255 experience per kill. So long as the flute is able to keep them asleep for a bit, they may wake up the very next turn, or they may stay asleep until they're dead. You never know.
Alright, speaking of things we've missed, I'm pretty sure we've missed JJ Schmidt get a weapon because he's certainly hitting very hard. I just don't recognize which one. I'm gonna guess broadsword because almost everyone else has purchased a broadsword.
Well, let's see. His character does have a sword in hand, so that means he does have a weapon. That is the benefit of the hero Loto is, you see a shield and a sword in his hand, you know he's got at least a shield, and you know he's at least got a weapon.
Then I had missed the shield as well.
Perhaps he will take a peek at his stats on this next level that he gets, and we'll get to see what he has. And unfortunately, with four, even sometimes with two people on screen, you get caught up in what one person's doing, and you're bound to miss a small detail. It happens.
And I apologize as well because I'm the one tracking this as well.
Yeah, it does seem Mr. Holmes has resigned themselves to the Stoneman Wraith Knight grind there. Meanwhile, JJ is it seems well, he has acquired Heal More at level 13. That is a great thing to have.
And it looked like a couple of other spells. Stop spell as well.
That will make JJ's grinding a much easier feat here, and JJ does know where Sharlock is, but has yet to find that Staff of Rain cave, as far as I know. And where was Sharlock, anyways? That is the detail I missed, is what was the path to Sharlock?
All I remember is that it involved a beach on the west-style coast. We're gonna have to note Centroid's path. Either that, or hope that JJ Schmidt know it. Oh, and we also missed Return. Wow, level 13 with 3 spells. All we're
Well,
missing
apparently,
is
apparently Cole wasn't that far away from where Sharlock was. And JJ has actually, I think JJ has not found Cantlin yet. I know Mr. Holmes found Cantlin. I'm missing if he actually went and picked up the armor.
I think JJ Schmidt did go to Cantlin, but I don't remember him getting the armor.
No, with any luck, he'll be heading into Garen's grave here in just a moment, and he'll be picking up Erdrick's sword at least. And Centroid giving us a little bit of a look on level 13 there.
Spark over. You're welcome.
Yeah, I have to agree. The last 2 weeks now, actually, I think the last 3 weeks, I've seen the Dragonware randomizers. I've been very glad I didn't actually have the opportunity to enter.
Alright,
I would have
JJ Schmidt is in Garen's grave, I believe.
I would have to say the number one comment, we'll definitely be asking them, but I'd have to say the number one comment from our runners is going to have to be, don't let Wolfman roll a seed again. Because I believe this is the first time you've rolled a seed for the Dragon Warrior Rando.
I could have sworn I've rolled at least one other before, but... I mean, it has been a while, admittedly. I'll give you that. And my luck isn't normally that bad, at least on the other randos.
I don't know. It might just might be why we haven't seen you roll one in a while. If you have, we all said no, you can't. I know the feeling though. I've had some doozies that I rolled, and I've had some very, very easy ones I've rolled. I believe at the start of the Chaos tournament, the tie-dye guy said, "I want you to roll my seeds from now on." And then midway and towards the end of it, he's like, "No, I don't want you rolling any more seeds." So.
Well, at least Beta Strep likes my roll. So, thank you, Beta Strep. Should I end up restreaming this next time, then I can certainly attempt to give you another entertaining one. And hopefully for the rest of you viewers at home.
It's definitely a great seed. I actually kind of like these ones because it makes you think. Like, you know, we see Centroid here who's grinding on these green dragons in the sand. We've got Mr. Holmes who's grinding on Stonemen and Wraith Knights in the sand over by Tanteagle. And then we have JJ and BT, who are just kind of grinding on whatever they find as they explore. So I mean, we're getting to see some different grind strategies here because you have golems hiding in the swamp cave, but nobody's picked up a flute yet. You have JJ pick up his rainbow drop, so he did apparently have the Staff of Rain. And then you have the red dragons hiding in Hawksness, but no heal more. Now that we have heal more, we may see JJ actually go ahead and do that.
Well, let's see if it works out. Alright, from what I have seen of the red dragons so far, a lot of attack power, but I don't recall the red dragon actually using a breath attack or anything like that. Also,
now, I believe
BT has found Sharlock, which also means activate the heal mores.
And I believe all that we saw from the Red Dragon was just their usual brute strength, and there's that 255 experience, and we did have the Fairy Flute hiding there. Okay, and chat noting that Mr. Holmes does have Erdrick's armor since he's not taking swamp damage.
I will try to get better at this, folks. Alright.
And I didn't actually notice that JJ took swamp damage, so that's something we'll have to notice here in just a moment. I'll keep an eye on that.
BT has entered Sharlock.
Okay, JJ is not taking swamp damage, so he does have Erdrick's armor as well.
I must have missed that after a previous death, and I was focused on either BT or Mr. Holmes.
And JJ is deciding, nope, not worth it. But he has that Fairy's Flute, so he could also go for the Golem if he wants to try it. Or maybe he's going to go for a heal in Cantlin and then make his way back down there. I don't know. We'll see. It does seem Centroid is deciding that he might be wanting to try for the Red Dragon grind here. Both Centroid and JJ are very close in experience, with BT not being far behind, and Mr. Holmes still isn't that far behind as well. Finding himself an Armored Knight, which Stop Spell was able to land on, and since the Armored Knight was pretty fond of that Hurt More spell, rendered the Armored Knight rather useless there. And yeah, we do have BT diving Sharlock, perhaps wanting to see what the boss at the bottom floor before Dragonlord will be.
Also, hopefully, this is a decent, place to get experience. Speaking of experience, we're going to see an increase to level 14. Power 7, Speed 1, HP 4, MP 5, and there we go, folks. Hurt More at level 14.
Yeah, but those stat gains, those are not doing anyone any favors right now. We're going to have to see some more levels.
Yeah. Best attack power right now is, I think, 124. And defense power, assuming we don't go for the Silver Shield, like high 70s?
Yeah, we're a little lacking on the HP, a little lacking on the attack power.
Yeah, 83 HP at best.
Yeah, 83 is our max HP that we see right now on Centroid at level 14. It's not impossible to win with that, but ideally you're going to want to see 97 minimum, as 97 HP guarantees that you can take 2 of the full power Dragonlord 2 breath hits of 48 damage and still have 1 HP to live by.
BT now has Hurt More available.
As our runners hit level 14, JJ Schmidt will be hitting level 14 here in just a moment as well. That Hurtmore is going to definitely come in handy for some of the other enemies. Maybe not so much for things like the Sombred Knight here that's giving BT the business, but it definitely does help with things like the Rogue Scorpions, the Axe Knights, the regular Knights.
Yeah, and BT was so frustrated he attacked the darkness with Hurtmore.
I think he forgot he he gained Hurtmore. I've done that many times. I've gone to all throughout the game without Hurtmore, go to heal myself, and oh, I have Hurtmore. Whoops.
Which does remind me, speaking of attacking the darkness, for those that wish to watch Final Fantasy Randomizer, 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, there will be a spring tournament matchup between Fuzzy Mage and Bismarck 189.
Always a great race to see the Final Fantasy races. I believe they're doing NPC shuffle with this tournament. Am I correct?
With the Sweet 16 flags, their NPC shuffle has been enabled, as well as quest chain decoupling. So get that translated slab. It may not necessarily lead to. I'm mixing up my items. Let me try again. Take the bottle to the ferry. You may not get Oxhail. That was what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that certainly throws a wrench into your plans when it comes to that. Much like Chaos on Dragon Warrior, Randomizer will throw a wrench into your usual plans as well. I'm gonna just beat up this blue slime. No, you're not. You're gonna get pounded into the dirt by this blue slime.
I have not been brave enough to attempt a Chaos mode run yet. My own personal best time on this is close to 3 hours. On the current flags that our runners are on.
Oh, that's not too bad. I think if I remember correctly, my first run was about 2.5 hours.
I'm also very much out of practice.
Speaking of practicing, if you would like to participate in our weeklies or just play some on your own, the link to the randomizer as well as the Discord is in chat. Oh, poor Tilo Tilo likes the chaos. They're like me. They like chaos.
I'm sure chaos will come back in some form. So don't you worry. Feel free to run chaos flags on your own time as well.
Ooh, 4-ish hours. Wow. You know, I have to say, I can easily believe that 4-ish hours, as we saw during the Chaos Tournament, some 3+ hours runs, and that was from some of the people that made it towards the end of the tournament, even. But yeah, speaking of tournaments, we do have a Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament coming up here at the end of July.
So please join the Discord and head to the challenge page and let us see Gwaylin being rescued or not, depending.
She can stay in her cave. We do see, at least on Centroid's side, making good use of that fairy flute and putting the golems to sleep.
BT hoping to gain some good experience off of this little islet, I think it is?
What are we referring to now?
The patch of beach that BT is on.
Oh, Peninsula. Body of land that is surrounded by water on 3 sides. For example, Florida.
I should have remembered that. I could have sworn Islet had another... I could have sworn Islet had something similar to this, but that's me just trying to be a little too fancy.
I believe that would be water that is surrounded by land on 3 sides. I think that's the opposite.
Ah.
The fact that I remember anything from geography myself is a bit surprising.
Alright, JJ Schmidt is having decent luck with the red dragons. Needs to... Uh-oh. Actually needs to retreat out of MP. Healing can only do so much. When your only sources of recovery are either inns or the magician back at Tantagel Castle.
There we go. There's that tournament link for you. Gotta go locate it.
Alright, BT has gone up to level 15 while I was explaining things. And that's a big HP boost.
What is his max HP now?
106.
Ooh.
That was a gain of 23 HP, only 3 MP, looked like 9 strength, and 1 agility.
So it looks like the only thing we might be lacking on is a little bit more strength.
And JJ has that level as well.
Oh, noted by Frone, we're actually at 133 on the attack at the maximum right now. So with that experience, that MP, and that attack power, that is enough, albeit not guaranteed, that is enough to go after the Dragon Lord.
Why do my numbers claim 135 then?
Frone might not be taking into account the fighter's ring.
Let me test that. Yeah, there we go. 135 with fighters. I will admit, I am cheating a little bit, as you can see the current stats on screen. Hope you folks don't mind if I do that.
Actually, why is there a 2 attack power discrepancy between BT and JJ there?
Apparently you have to re-equip the fighter's ring after death.
Interesting.
I'm guessing that, but what we don't have to guess is that JJ Schmidt has found Sherlock and is going in.
Well, with the current attack power of 135,
133
that would mean...
or 35. We'll go 133, I guess. Whichever one you want.
Yeah, we'll do 133 just in case. So 133, that means that he would be doing, I believe, 8 to 16, 8 minimum, 16 maximum damage to Dragon Lord 2.
So let's see, 135, subtract 100, that's 35, divided... Then it's 34 divided by 2... Oh wait, we're doing 133, never mind, 32, yeah, 8 to 16.
So that means at the most, we're going to be looking at 11 hits if the Dragon Lord has 165 HP. If you're getting 16 on every hit, which you're not always all that likely to get. On average, you'll be getting about 12. So you're going to need quite a few hits on the Dragon Lord. Thankfully, they have quite a bit of magic so far as well, with 103. That gives us a nice 12, just shy, 1 MP shy of 13 heal mores right now. Or is that a 108? That could be a 108. Might actually be 13 heal mores.
BT has 108. According to my stats for JJ, it's 118. Did I mess something up on this end? You'll have to forgive me, folks, playing around with... I do not see the discrepancy.
There's nothing that would have stolen 10 MP or given him 10 MP, that's for sure.
I will trust 108 MP for our purposes. Oh, it's because, did I mark JJ at the wrong level now? No, JJ's at level 15. I had him bumped at 16 by mistake. That's why.
Ah, that'll do it.
So, as Fearon Burgundy mentioned, we do have other runners that are participating in this right now. Out of the ones that are remaining off-stream, NES Cardinality and Smashy. And Fearon has confirmed what I knew through my cheat sheet. 118. Yeah, I've revealed it. I have a cheat sheet to help me on this one.
Oh, well, Nescard being at 118, that means he apparently saw the need to go up another level.
I mean, either
which
that...
I don't blame him.
Either that, or the level was gained during the dive to Sharlock, which reminds me, JJ Schmidt is already on the bottom floor.
This is true. He may have gained that level 16 on his way down.
No one has finished the race yet, so it may be a close race between NES Cardinality and JJ Schmidt, but we're focusing on our featured 4 here.
And surprisingly, speaking of our featured 4, Mr. Holmes, who would typically be the favorite in any of these, as he has a very good track record of winning these races, is actually a fair amount behind at this point.
That's why I should never roll the seat again. And Beta Strep is confirming what I suspected. Level 16 was gained during the dive.
And you see JJ being given to business by a red dragon here. Meanwhile, Centroid is also on his way down to the bottom floor. BT is actually level 15, but is not quite at Sharlock, but is making their way to Sharlock, it seems.
Oh,
and looks like
JJ Schmidt gets knocked out.
And it looks like Mr. Holmes is actually going to go for the Sharlock dive and go for a level on the way down, it would seem. And unfortunately, even being on the bottom floor of Sharlock does not guarantee you're going to get to that Dragon Lord, as there's plenty of tough enemies that will say no.
Including the Red Dragon. Mr. Holmes has now entered Sharlock, and BT has now gained another level. Now we have the confirmation. Well, belated, accidental, spoilery confirmation of... you all know it, 118 MP. And Fearon confirming the specific stat growth. With the items and equipment everyone has, I don't think anyone is going into the Pyramid Treasury. This is just going to be straight to the Dragon Lord, or back to Tangiel Castle trying. At least Centroid is able to put that flute to use against the golems.
Yeah, that flute has definitely got many uses when it comes to those golems, because they hurt even at the current level. They still hurt a lot of. I mean, they will still punch you for a good 20 to 30.
Now, curious question. Does the sleep spell work on the golems 100% of the time?
I don't believe it does. I think it's only the flute that is 100% guarantee on them. And only on golems.
So even though this is a potential time waster, it does make more sense to use the sure thing against the golems.
Yeah, he won't be going after the Dragon Lord, not until he gets his MP refilled, though.
Alright, BT is in Sharlock, I believe. JJ Schmidt hoping to go down in there. And Mr. Holmes making his way over.
And yes, BT, I want to say, is on the 3rd floor of Sharlock, as Centroid does hit level 16. Which, unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot to be had, with only getting 2, 2, and 10. Not even getting any extra HP there. But at level 16 with 135, that would be... let's see if my brain will do the math for me. I believe that'd be 9 to 17 damage. 9 on the minimum, 17 on the max. So, averaging about 13 a hit.
Alright, chat is saying that NES Cardinality did defeat the Dragon Lord, and I have confirmation. NES Cardinality did finish first place in the entire race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, 15 seconds. But who will finish first amongst our featured 4?
Yeah, for this seed, that is definitely a great time for as unforgiving as this seed has been.
So who was the gatekeeper? Blue Dragon.
That would have been a nice one to be able to get down to for a grind at least. And if Mr. Holmes hadn't already hit level 15, I could definitely see him using that as a grind. And BT is gonna talk to... Oh, maybe not. I was gonna say he's gonna talk to the Dragon Lord from the bottom, but decides not to.
Will BT... Nope, BT is a fool. Time to take on the Dragon Lord.
And Dragon Lord being fairly kind, only getting 1 regular hit in before being taken down. So we have Dragon Lord 2 fight by BT. And he does get ambushed, though, so he will not get to have his first attack. He's going to have to heal first.
Making sure not to hurt more accidentally.
Yeah, definitely don't want to hurt more. Not with a 15-16 resistance. So basically that means you have a 1 in 16 chance of that hurt more actually working. It will deal a massive amount of damage, but, you know, pros versus cons on that one.
Alright, so I saw 2 hits so far. 9 and 9. That makes 18. There's that 16, so 34.
Yeah, we definitely want to see something much more than those 9s.
11, 45.
And let's see, we do have Centroid back in Sharlock. Meanwhile, JJ is grinding on golems, and Mr. Holmes has made his way into the grave, so he will be picking up the Erdrick sword.
Alright, so far BT has delivered at least 89 damage worth. We're finally getting those high hits in. Question is it going to be enough? We need enough high hits in order to defeat the Dragon Lord. Seems to have a lot of HP today. What's the min and max on this one again?
Minimum of 150, max of 165.
Can you guys hear me?
And hello, Nescard.
Hello.
GG,
welcome.
congratulations.
Thank you so very much. I'm gonna try and I assume you guys people are telling me BT's on the Dragon Lord, so I'll go take a peek at him.
You are correct. BT is on the Dragon Lord fight, but has to land enough attacks. I don't think BT has. No.
Oh,
I
he
missed
does
it.
get it.
I had missed an attack. That looked like high-end Dragon Lord, but just pulled it off.
Wow, one of those last ditch attempts, that final hit, and it's enough to take it down. All right, so that means that BT will be our second place finisher with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 16 seconds. Just barely 4 minutes and 1 second behind this cardinality.
Well, I guess you guys have a lot more commentary to go, so I will skip out for now. Maybe I'll join you later.
I mean, I
Your
wouldn't
choice.
mind hearing your thoughts. That was a pretty rough seed, just from watching it.
I
Well, I
apologize
was-
again for that.
That's no problem. Well, basically, what I want to say is that this is my first race in like a month, and only my second race of the year. I was worried I was just going to be lagging behind everyone, but I guess I kept it together pretty well, and I had the right idea in the end to go and hit Sharlock hard as soon as it was possible, and just hope for good luck.
Did you consider it to be possible at level 13, 14, or 15?
Well, it was only possible one level before mine. Like, there was no question. We couldn't go before that big HP gain. I don't remember what the numbers were, but I tried at that level, and then I found out what was in Sharlock, and I was worried it was too dangerous. So I got another level, which was only like 8 red dragons. And I didn't gain anything except I got 10 MP, and I was like, okay, that's 1 extra heal more. I already have like 2 extra heal mores, maybe 3. We have to try again. So I made the decision. I ran away from Armored Knights, I fought 1 red dragon, and we had just enough to make it safe.
Yeah.
I will say, I know from watching you personally that you map everything out. How tough of a map was this? I mean, we saw probably every inch of it being explored, and other than that cluster of 3 caves and the cluster of 3 towns, everything was just scattered to the ends of the earth.
So let's take a look here. First of all, the fact that a lot of friendly stuff was clustered together, we had that nice triangle of towns, and then with including our Molder for keys, and then the swamp cave was in Tantagel, leading to that triangle of caves as well with Hawksness and Cantlin. And it was a small island there too, so everything was easy to find except for Sharlock, the Mountain Cave, the Grave, Cole, and the Shrine Cave. That was when exploration started, but it went really smoothly for me because I was strong when I started. So I found, cleaned out the Mountain Cave, went up to Sharlock, the Grave was next, and once I had the sword at that point, from the top floor chests, I didn't have to descend. All I needed was the Shrine Cave. I didn't even need Cole. So I went looking for it. I just went south, and it did not take long to find. So I guess not going southeast first probably helped me, although I can't gauge. We were probably close to the bottom of the map. It probably wasn't that much of empty land that I didn't explore. So all in all, the map was not that bad. It was really just obviously the start. We needed the heal spell to get past the swamp, and then we needed to grind a little to even break out of that area with the towns. But that area with the towns had the greatest grind zone. You know, the metal scorpions, the wolves, the skeletons, the poltergeists. That was perfect for a weak character with the hurt spell and plenty of towns nearby. So that really worked out really well. I thought I played everything, pretty well. I was just worried about lagging behind, forgetting some detail.
All right, we are joined by BT now. So, BT, your thoughts on this particular seed? What was your thoughts going into this?
Basically going into it, there was that massive swamp, so it was just HP counting. And then I saw that my strength was super low, so I was like, well, what do we do here? But yeah, the early hurt helped out a lot. And then as I tried to explore and get out of that starting area, I kept running into a monster exactly 1 tier above what I could beat, and I kept getting sent back home, which really stifled my exploration. I didn't learn that the swamp continent was small until I'd been there probably 11 times after dying. and then I finally found Sharlock at the end.
Yeah, we did see specifically those stonemen were just being a royal pain.
Yeah, I was afraid I couldn't run from them. I guess I could sleep run, but I was so desperate for experience, and they're actually a pretty good payoff. I don't know why they just wouldn't take their naps.
Enemies were
And then-
stubborn on this seed.
Yeah, that they were. I mean, there was a lot of early on. You know, there was a lot of Dragon Breath enemies. There was Hurtmore enemies. There was a couple enemies with Dragon Lord 2 Breath.
I was having trouble with my encounter rate. It was great when I was finally started to grind, but I was getting like 3 encounters in 3 steps when I was just trying to see what the next town was. It was really frustrating.
I'm checking out the current players now on the stream. It looks like 2 players are on the bottom floor, another descending downwards.
Yeah, we do see Centroid, who has made it to level 17. Not a whole lot to be gained at level 17, though. Only an extra 2 strength, which, I mean, it'll give you 1 more damage, towards the Dragon Lord, getting you up to 10 and 18, I believe, but not too much more than that.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I went at level 15. That's the level Mr. Holmes is at as well. Oh no, he has more HP than I did. Oh, he's using strength HP. That's what it is.
All 4 of our featured 4 used strength HP.
Well, I got lucky that the HP gain was so big that when I got 21, I don't know how much they got, but it put me at 98 HP. I did end up getting 1 more level for 2 more HP, but it was really good that strength HP was not a factor, because if it were, probably everyone would have beaten me.
It was high 20s, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, strength HP, of course, being the more popular choice, but strength agility always the second favorite choice. Very rarely, I think some people will dip into an HP MP build. Not exactly favorable, but
Or, of course, you could have that one seed where someone accidentally did agility MP and still won it.
yeah, I remember that was during the Chaos tournament when everybody was trying different builds out just as a way to keep the so-called noodle monster from running from them.
Well, I do have a question for Mr. Nesgard.
Yes?
Your opening equipment.
What about it?
What did you buy?
What did I buy? Let's see. I probably made it to the towns later than everyone else, or I always just felt like that. I don't know if anyone tried to go before we got the heal spell, but I'm gonna have to think back for a second. I remember... Yeah, there was no hand axe. I got the copper sword pretty early. And then I just tried to stay in that town area and grind up enough for the half plate and large shield. And I ended up getting the half plate and exploring after that because I was a great deal stronger. I think I had just gotten that huge power boost. So yeah, when I got the huge power boost, I also got the broadsword, but I had to build up for it for a while. I was just grinding gold around the 3 towns. And then I got the large shield later. That was about it. I found Erdrick's sword much later, and I took a bold risk going for Erdrick's armor early. I went to Cantlin for the coordinates, and then I was like, I've already found the token. If that's the armor, I've got a 50-50 shot. So I bought wings in Cantlin, and I used them, and I went to the coordinates, and sure enough, it was the armor. I really felt good about that.
That's smart. I got 1 barrier tile away and ran out of herbs and magic just from bad heal luck, so I got to take a free trip back to Detangel that way. But I was able to get a key and a death necklace, and then I exchanged that for chainmail and a large shield, and then I did a gold grind on the death necklace chest to get a broadsword and a full plate.
Nice. I got like the Stones of Sunlight chest, I think 4 times just to get enough for the broadsword and large shield, but I died, so I only bought the broadsword at that point, and just went from there.
Gotcha.
Just grinding on enemies.
Yeah, that seemed to be
I just have to hop out for a bit, guys. Enjoy the rest of the race, everyone.
Later, Jose.
Thank you for joining us.
Later.
Have a good one, Discard.
You bet.
While we
Yeah,
were
that's-
talking, JJ Schmidt has defeated the Dragon Lord and is about to clock in a time.
And that did seem to be the common thing was large shield, broadsword, chainmail, or a plate of some sort. And that official time for JJ is going to be 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 38 seconds.
Mr. Holmes is doing some last-minute battling before taking on the Dragon Lord himself.
And I believe we have Centroid who is making their way, I believe, on the 4th floor, it looks like.
Alright,
And
JJ,
Mr. Holmes.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Mr. Holmes, having talked to the Dragon Lord, been called a fool, will be making an attempt on him, but I gotta say, Mr. Holmes is a little low on the MP there. And goes for the Hurtmore strat. I believe we are joined by JJ Schmidt now.
Yeah, how's it going?
Welcome, JJ. Good job. How you feeling about that one?
I don't know, I just kind of went with whatever worked at the time. It was just one curveball after another, kind of seemed like.
Oh, Mr. Holmes tried the yellow strats and calls it.
Yeah, apparently Mr. Holmes has had enough of that one and says almost 2 hours. No, thank you.
Yep. So, to quote the game, thou art dead.
I know he hasn't been feeling the best. He opted out of a race the other day because he was just, I won't use his own quote, but wasn't feeling great.
But this was a tough seat for anyone to take on. Again, I apologize.
I mean, yeah, usually Mr. Holmes would be, as I said in the beginning, he's usually the favorite to win, usually finishing a fair amount ahead of most. And, we see him here. Had he taken out the Dragon Lord, would have been 4th to finish and behind by quite a bit in time. So, yeah, it's definitely a tough one if you see Mr. Holmes struggling with it a bit.
Yeah, it was not, I don't know. I felt like it could have went either way, that I could have either been really behind or I could have been ahead. It's hard to say.
Oh, I mean, the grind in this one, it was definitely a tough one because you had golems in the swamp cave, you had the red dragons in Hawksness, so trying to find where to grind when you don't have a reliable, boss tile until you get all the way into Charlotte and say, oh, hey, blue dragons. Well, those would have been nice to see somewhere else.
Right. I don't know. It was interesting. So, BT, well, I guess in I don't know if you guys saw Nest Cardinality, rather, but was it their first dive, or what level were they? As it was 15 was really debatable.
Both, I believe, Nest's card was at 16, and BT, I believe, was also at 16. I don't believe it was their first dive. It was a kind of a rough dive. There were armored knights and golems and red dragons galore.
Yeah, it was not fun, especially at 15 when I tried that first time. I almost made it.
At 15, it would have definitely have been possible. There wasn't much to be gained with 16. You got another 10 MP and another 2 strength, so really didn't do a whole lot for you.
Yeah, no, that bottom floor was just rough. The red dragons, I think I got run blocked. I don't know how many times, at least 6.
Yeah, the agility was definitely the later at first it seemed like the HP and the strength weren't gonna come, but then they finally did, and it was the agility that was really lacking at the end there. So yeah, the ability to run and then the amount of damage you were taking with having no way of getting a silver shield, it definitely was a factor there.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's a gamble. It could have been anybody's race at that. It's just whoever gets through.
Yeah, I mean, we see here Centroid. Yeah, he's got a large shield. He's got Erdrick's armor. He's got level 17. And I mean, the physical hits on the Dragon Lord are still hitting anywhere from 30 to 48 is the most I've seen so far.
I was worried that if I was going to get into a thing where at 48 or 49, if I had to try to get a double attack out of that, which didn't wind up being the case. But.
Yeah, I mean, we're not seeing any. Yeah, so here you go. Dragon Lord attacks and hits him for 48. So yeah, we're not seeing any low hits from Dragon Lord 2 on those physical hits, and I don't think you're gonna see doubles from not with the agility and defense power that you have even at level 17.
Yeah.
But Centroid does manage to get him down. And actually had 3 heal mores left over, but had 129 MP at the most at level 17. The MP was there at the end.
Yeah, I think I had at least 2 heal mores left, and I got back attacked by both 1 and 2.
Yeah, that seems to have been pretty common that the Dragon Lord did do some back attacks.
We have one more runner left out of this entire weekly, Smashy. And according to him in IRC, one more attempt and that's it. So Smashy is also approaching the end of Dragon Lord or Patience, one of the two. This seed just hurt everyone.
Yeah, this was definitely a tough one. It's as Spark overstated and I stated, we all did. It made us glad we didn't participate in this one.
I feel like the races I've been in, there's been a lot of easy seeds a lot of times, down in that 1 hour, 75-minute mark. So these seeds do exist, and the tournament's definitely going to bring them out again, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've got quite a few people that have already signed up. Still plenty of time left to do so. And I mean, there's going to be plenty of Dragon Warrior races to be watched. I believe what is the format this time? I think it's 5. Is what they're going with 5 Swiss rounds.
5 Swiss rounds, then brackets. Yes.
Yeah, 5 Swiss rounds and then the bracket stage. So there will be plenty more Dragon Warrior Randomizer coming up here in the near future. And yeah, we'll see everything from those just honey sweet seeds that. It's 45 minutes and done, and then you'll run into something like this, or it's sometimes 2 hours or even more, where you're grinding your way up to level 22 on maybe not exactly the most favorite of things to grind on.
Yeah, this could have been bad. I don't know if the other guys found that free gold cave on the other side of Swamp fairly early, but I feel like that's the only thing that kept me sane during this seed.
Yeah, like I said, it was a rough one for sure. One of the tougher seeds I've seen for at least the normal flags.
But Centroid's in, so I'll dip out. But thanks for the restream and thanks for the race, guys.
All right, you have a good one, JJ, and thanks for playing. And as JJ did note, we are joined by Centroid. Centroid, your thoughts on that seed?
I don't know. It was pretty fun. I guess it was, it was just difficult to, it kind of felt like, you'd solve one problem and then another one just kind of popped up, right? Like, there's very low hit points early. Then once you got the hit points, there wasn't really any heal more, right? So it was, and then you had to find a good grind spot. So it was definitely good for like the problem solving aspect. I feel like finding a good grind spot was the consistent challenge throughout, and it was like there was a good assortment of like those 40 to 50 experience points monsters though. Like, there was wolves by the start. There was, I don't know, I felt like the second island had a nice array of like I can't even remember. there was some good stuff over there, and then like southeast on the main island had that one spot with like Wraith Knights and stuff like that. But yeah, it was rough, I guess.
Yeah, that was definitely the challenge of this seed. As there was only a couple of things were a little tough to find, like the stone or the staff of rain shrine. That took everybody, I think, was the longest, almost the longest time. And then finding the grave for the sword, definitely a required item in this case. In this seed, you did need it in order to have enough attack power, but it was also quite a ways away. But finding all the other items wasn't too difficult. It was really came down to where to grind, and what efficiency is that grind. Do you have a way of restoring your HP and MP nearby, until you got heal more? Then hey, great, we've got heal more, let's check Hawk's Nest, let's check the swamp, and then you find the enemies there are not so friendly to grind on.
Yeah, and I didn't think that Red Dragon was a good grind at all because, well, I mean, in my opinion, I'm sure everybody's got their own opinion, but like, you run out of heal mores, and then like Hawk's Nest was a very far. I guess you could go back to Cantlin. I didn't think about that, but I didn't think there was a close enough town for that to be feasible.
Yeah, Cantlin would have been, I guess technically it would have been the nearest town. You could have gone back to Tenteagle through the Swamp Cave, but that's still a long trek as well. So yeah, if you'd have had something a little more close by to heal at, the Red Dragons could definitely be a good grindable enemy because you can get your MP back. But yeah, I can agree with that one. It probably in this case not the best thing to grind on. So I mean that did become the challenge. I always like seeing everybody have to search, far and wide for their items, their armor. Which the armor in this case, became a super easy find. It was, just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the castle. So, like I said, other than the sword and the Staff of Rain Shrine, there wasn't a lot of searching necessary. It was really just, where are you going to grind? What's the best to grind? And it seemed, Stonemen and Wraith Knights were okay, but then you had, I think we saw you grinding on Green Dragons quite a bit as well. And those, of course, are pretty good for experience too, and they die easy.
Yeah, the only problem was that I feel like they were. I mean, that's only one out of the 5 monsters in that group. So with Repel, even in that desert, I was walking around for, I don't know, it felt fine to me, but I don't know, maybe it would look different on the restream. Like, maybe there was a better option, but I guess once I got that flute, I tried those. Like, there was a bunch of golems over by the coal, but I just couldn't get him to respawn later in the game, so I gave up.
Yeah, that's always the hard thing you have to do. But it was a good race. Like I said, I will agree with the other comments of glad I didn't participate in this one.
Wait, Centroid seemed to like this one, so apparently my seed rolling privileges are fine for now.
Yeah, Centroid was the only one who so far said they liked it, I think.
I mean, I just like racing. It's fun.
I do enjoy seeing these types of races, the ones that, it's not just a straight steamroll and you're in Sharlock and you're done. That's probably more why I lean towards Chaos, is it's a lot less likely to steamroll straight to Sharlock. But definitely during the tournament, I'm sure we'll see plenty more seeds like this one, especially if we let Wolfman roll them.
I think I think diving Charlock was a little difficult too. With I think 77 agility might be a little low.
Oh, definitely so.
I don't know if the other runners decided to go up to level 17 like I did, but I didn't want to. I guess that's another thing about this game, is it's just a risk reward type thing, right? It's like, do I grind for another level, or do I keep trying to, dive with this low agility? And, I'm not sure what the correct answer there was, but, level 15 to 16 was zero agility and 0 defense. And then 16 to 17 was 4, which, I don't know, it felt to me like a big difference. But Plus, it gave me all the magic points in the world, and I was like pretty set at that point.
I can
Yeah.
tell you that the other runners on stream finished at levels 15 or 16. NES Cardinality needed level 16, but he got that during the dive in Sherlock.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like a more experienced runner, yeah, might try it over and over again at 15. I mean, I feel like that's a good gamble to take, especially when it's in a tournament race or something.
Yeah, 15 is definitely possible in this particular seed if you could get down there. JJ tried it at 15 himself, got caught up. Enemies just would not let him go. Came back at 16, and he was able to get down there. So it is that risk versus reward. In this case, yeah, the agility stat, I believe, if I remember correctly, about 80 is where you would like to be on agility to give you a good chance of getting away from most of the enemies that you'll meet there. And not get run blocked by something like a red dragon and just continuously take those hits, burn up your heal mores, and then, got to restart your dive anyway. I think that is just about going to do it for us. Any final comments, Centroid?
No, not really.
All right, well, good game, great race, and look forward to seeing you in the tournaments.
Yeah, thanks. It was a fun time.
Give it up once more for JJ Schmidt, Mr. Holmes, Centroid, and Breasticle, aka BT. Please give them a follow if you haven't already. And just as I say that, Smashy has finished the race. 2 hours, 6 minutes, 6 seconds. And so we have the race is concluded. Before we got to conclude, I would say that was a very convoluted seed. Please vote now in a straw poll that will not be created whether I should roll them again. For those that actually want to know of more events, at the conclusion of this broadcast, we will send all of you to Randomania, where there is a Legend of Zelda Randomizer Battle Royale. It is a duo matchup. Random Effect and Redbird Grad versus Thurwolf and JSR. The first 2 games of 3 will be played. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Randomania, Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament, Fuzzy Mage versus Bismarck 189. And then Friday, we will have another Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament, 6 p.m., Salty Fry versus Lord Fizzlebeef. And then at 8 p.m., as part of our anything other than rando tournaments, Dragon Quest, SFC Edition, Lavkian versus Some Diener. And, Smashy, Mr. Holmes went for YOLO Hurt More, and honestly, that was just the right time to pause it. So you can blame me for that. I wish to once again thank Ryusation for commentating this, and hopefully I didn't do too bad of a job commentating and tracking and bringing this up for everyone. And I think that covers all the administrative stuff.
Sounds about right to me.
So, any final thoughts, Ryu?
Just definitely a great showing by all of our runners here. Also does go to show that, yeah, even Mr. Holmes, who has been known to win most of these weekly races, does have his weaknesses. You just gotta make sure he's sick during the tournament. We'll all win.
Let's ensure that all of our warriors are healthy for the tournament.
But yeah, all joking aside, definitely look forward to the tournament. Hopefully I place better than I did in the Chaos tournament. Hopefully we see you as well in that tournament, not just rolling the seats and commentating, but perhaps participating, Wolfman.
Maybe not.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Alright, for our runners, for Ryusation, This is Wolfman2000 saying, until next time, watch out for red dragons. Have a good night, everyone.